Alright Aries, it is time for your August reading, and we will be using the ViceVersa Tarot. That's the front of it, and that's what the back looks like because it is both front and back of the cards. Typically I don't clarify with this deck. I don't know if I've read for you with this deck before or not, but now you know. Sometimes I do clarify, not always. It just really depends on the situation. But usually there's no need to because it is both. Sorry, I just saged and not saged. I used Palo Santo and Palo Santo. Anyway, however you say it, I used that one, the wood one, and wanted to make sure it was out because I've got it in my little bowl. Usually I don't need to clarify with this deck because I will be reading both front and back of the cards. So far we have out the Two of Swords and the Two of Cups. The one thing about shuffling this one is the cards actually have to fly out because it is reversal, so if a card does flip over, it's hard to tell which one did. And sometimes, like with my other two decks, I can pull it if it just flips over, but with this one, I get it if it just, whoa, that was a lot. Oh, that was, we actually have an extra one, y'all. Usually I just do 10, but since I didn't realize that many came out and I started to pull from it, so y'all get 11 cards today. Merry Christmas. Happy Christmas, Ron. Alright, so starting with the Two of Swords. This is interesting because Two of Swords has been coming up a lot, but usually it has not been coming up in reverse, and this time it is in reverse. So you can see there that she is sitting on this stone bench, kind of a stone island almost, with the moon in front of her. And you can't see that her eyes are covered here, but it's very calm. But in the reverse, in reverse, her eyes are not covered. When it comes to front facing, her eyes are covered, and it's storming. So you can see this is almost a meditative state of calm and unbotheredness. Just genuinely unbotheredness. We also have the Two of Cups coming up, and this is looking like a union of masculine and feminine. There's also the serpents here that you will typically see in like medical symbols of like on an ambulance and stuff, like almost of healing, with the star being overhead. So it's like this union of masculine and feminine is blessed. So this can be an actual relationship, or it can also be in balance internally for Aries. So that's a really nice place to start. We also have, which one is this? I don't think I have pulled this before. I'm gonna look up what this card is. I'll show it to you. This is in reverse. It came up in reverse, and that is the front, and it is number 4. I've never pulled this card before, so we will find out what it is together. It is the Emperor. Okay, so I've never pulled the Emperor for this deck before, but that is the full embodiment of masculine energy. And here on the back, you can also see, and I don't remember what this is. I want to say it's the Ankh, but I'll have to double check because I think it's kind of an Egyptian symbol. He's also got an orb floating over one hand, the sun, a crescent moon on either side, and there's a cube and a torch kind of laying on the ground. So you don't really see all that's going on behind him when you have it front facing versus when it comes up in reverse. We also have the Devil card, which could be a Capricorn energy, or it can be ego. It really depends on the situation. In this situation, because we just got like a union here that's masculine and feminine balance, and we have the Emperor, I'm feeling like this is actually the Capricorn in this case is actually a person versus being ego, because this calm mind and a union here a blessed union nonetheless, doesn't seem like a situation where ego is going to be dominant. That's not to say it's impossible, I just don't see that here. We also have the Knight of Cups, and there's a crab here, and crabs are a symbol for, like a lobster or a crab are both symbols for Cancer. And it's also kind of a shadowy hidden thing because this one is in reverse. So in front facing, this is what it looks like, and it's a very confident energy, but here it's not as confident. It's almost that there's something that's unspoken in this situation. And this Capricorn person, it could be masculine or feminine, but it feels like there's something in the situation that, and this is an emotional situation. This is the Knight of Cups. He's riding away. So this way, I would say, would be the confident energy. This way is like it's unsure, and he's riding away from this situation, and he hasn't necessarily said everything that he was feeling or everything that he was wanting to say. We also have I want to say this is the Star card in reverse. I'll double check it. That's 17. Yes, it is the Star. And in reverse, I feel like she's not really paying attention to what she's doing. There's love blooming, but there's also like I want to say her spirit guide there, and she's not even really paying attention to what she's pouring out. She's like pouring her heart out to her spirit guide, and I think that's a really good thing in this situation because there's something that you walked away from this person and you haven't expressed. Aries, y'all are really getting a love reading right now. YW. But we also have the Queen of Pentacles here. So you're like in your feminine, your abundant, productive energy. Once you pour your heart out, it like brings you into balance as far as your feminine energy and creating new abundance in your situation. And then we go in and we've got the Hanged Man. In reverse, it's interesting because you can see there's two people there and they're watching him and it's night and they're like, man, what should we do? What do we do now? And they're kind of having a whole debate about what to do for this guy. And there's a serpent there, so there's deception. And there's also like a small sickle there and a mask. So it's like, in one way, he's been unmasked, so we have like more clarity about the situation, but there's also some deception. It's kind of, or maybe that could be like the two different perspectives on this situation, but we don't even know that we're not even there yet. Right now, it's just there's no. Here's what I'm getting. In this context, there are other people's feelings about the situation to interpret, but gosh, why can't I say that word? Anyway, you know what I'm trying to say. But in this situation, the only perspective that matters is yours. So pour your heart out to your spirit guides. Like get whatever it is that you didn't say in this, that you were unsure of in this situation, get it out. You're going to have new abundance in one area, but you're also going to feel like you've been strung up in another area. And that's a matter of perspective. And you do have control over your perspective. So I would say examine this from multiple different angles. But you don't want to bring other people into this situation because their perspectives in this case are not helpful. Because you're going to have people who are trying to unmask you, and you're going to have people who are creating deception here with the serpent or the mask. You're going to have people who, and then there's also the sickle there, so you're also going to have some people who are trying to like cut you down to size, and they don't necessarily have your best interest at heart. So this isn't a situation that you want to be sharing with a bunch of people. We then have the Five of Cups, and it's like in the background. So this is in reverse. This is showing you what you're not looking at in the situation. In the situation, this is not how it came up, but this is the converse. So this is showing you what you're actually missing in the situation versus what you've been focused on. What you've been focused on, sorry, I'm flipping that around a lot, but what you've been focused on is that there's, again, this lobster or crab, well, actually in this case it's a scorpion, but I'm feeling like that relates to the crab here that we're seeing. And you're focused on that, whatever it is that you feel like you've lost. So that could actually be like you're dealing with the Capricorn energy, but there could also be a Cancer energy here that you're dealing with. Turn around, like change, like literally use this situation and examine it and look at all the different options and change your perspective, because what you're looking for is right behind you. There's the rose, there's 2 cups here. You're just crying over spilt milk when that's not even what you want. What you want is right here. So look behind you. Then we also have the Knight of Wands. And he's riding off into the sun. And it's like there's nothing around him. So he's, in that sense, versus looking at it as, wow, he's stranded in the desert, I'm really seeing this as you don't have any distractions anymore. And you're not riding into this storm because it came up this way. This is the back. So I feel like you have, it's almost like there's a fork in your path and you could go either way. So you could either ride into the storm or you could ride into the desert. And it seems deserted. It seems like there's nothing there, but really what is there is clarity and there's no distractions. And your bonus card. We have this couple dancing under an arbor, and there are grapes. So there's like abundance there. There's a dove. The sun is shining. You can see this is the other side of the card, where it's almost like the sun is setting. I feel like this is like arriving just on time. Like it's not the end of the day yet. So there's time for this. There's the song, like, there's a place for us, somewhere, a place for us. Like, I don't know, Aries, you get a love reading. This situation is really about perspective and not allowing other people's judgments of your situation to cloud your vision. Release that and here, don't bring other people into your situation, because once you change your own perspective, you will see not what you've been looking at, but what is right behind you, which is what you've been seeking. You will have clarity about it. You'll have your distractions removed, and that will get you to the place for us. I hope this was helpful for you, Aries. Also, stick around if you have a pet, because we're going to do a quick read, a quick 3-card pull for you and your pet. So stick around for that. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope this was helpful.